Hello and welcome to the morning show teeing off with RevSportz. Very good morning to everyone present. Good morning, Raja sir. It's great to have you back after some days. And
I know.
and a
Thank you very much. And good morning to you.
good morning, sir. Good morning. And a very important discussion today after yesterday's schedule release of the upcoming ICC World Cup and lots to discuss on that. But before we go dive into the details of it, in details, overall, are you satisfied with the schedule being given? Each stadium got 5 games each. So, what are your thoughts on BCCI giving this schedule?
It seems all right to me. There can be no complaints. But I wonder why stadiums like Mohali or even the VCA stadium in Nagpur have been left out.
Mm,
These are no less iconic stadiums. In
mm,
2011, Mohali had that amazing semi-final with Pakistan,
yeah.
uh, India and Pakistan semi-final. Even in 1996, there was a great semi-final, Australia and West Indies. uh, you would have wanted that kind of environment, and Mohali has always
Mm,
given that kind of environment. Similarly, the VCA Stadium in Nagpur, in Jamta, is one of the best in the country, and I don't know why they've been left out. It does seem a little odd, but overall, it has to be satisfying given the fact that India is playing in a number of venues. Home fans will perhaps get those tickets and get to watch India
exactly.
play.
And as you mentioned, tickets, the flight prices and hotel prices are rising like anything. Like they're rising so fast.
Correct.
Yesterday, we were checking. Shubhan and Devashish were booking their tickets for the trip for the World Cup, and the prices are rising like so much. And just a small recap as to when and where India is playing. So 8th October versus Australia in Chennai, 11th versus Afghanistan in Delhi, 15th versus Pakistan in Ahmedabad, 19th versus Bangladesh in Pune, 22nd October versus New Zealand in Dharamsala, 29th October versus England in Lucknow, 2nd November, the qualifier, if they make it in Mumbai, uh, 5th November, South Africa in Kolkata. 11th November, again the qualifier. So, sir, coming to the schedule, two matches, South Africa in Kolkata and New Zealand in Dharamsala. What are your thoughts on these two particular matches? And why I am asking is because South Africa have those fast bowlers, Nokia and Gidi, and Kolkata will be a has produced a fast pace. So, do you think? And it's not in the first, but at the end of the league stage for India. So it might be an important one. And how difficult do you think that can be?
Ron, every game in the World Cup will be important for India because this nice round robin that has been planned, and so India will have to win as many games as is possible. But to get to your specific question on playing at Dharamshala and in Kolkata against two sides that have got quality fast bowlers, I think this Indian side has the ability to play fast bowling. It is not surprised by fast bowling. It has got people who can play the pull shot. It has got people who can play square on the offside, but it is the spinners that concern me. India has not had a great record against some spin bowlers, and therefore I'm in some ways happy that India is playing South Africa in Kolkata at the Eden Garden. It might be a ground where India stands a better chance of beating South Africa with its batting and with its bowling. India has also got the fast bowlers to win matches. I think it is fair that India is getting to play South Africa in Eden Garden. And it's not overly concerning. Had it been, let's say, a team with good spin bowling option, like Afghanistan in Delhi, that will be a bit of a challenge for India because you never know with Rashid Khan and his protege how they can surprise India. That could be the banana peel for me rather than the game against South Africa in Kolkata.
Fantastic point, sir. Yesterday, Shubham was making this point. Delhi and Afghanistan might be a surprise package for India. And another one, the talks that has been there for so many days now, Pakistan match in Ahmedabad, Pakistan. So there has been so many requests also from Pakistan government, and as of now, Pakistan PCB had said that they will be waiting for the government clearance, and On the 1st of September, I think first week of September, they will be sending delegates to for security concerns for the checking. So, what are your thoughts on this whole issue? Pakistan not wanting to play in Ahmedabad, but what are your thoughts? Because if the match gets shifted, also, I think it's not possible, but it will be a logistic nightmare for the fans for canceling all the tickets and shifting. So, what are your thoughts on this whole issue?
For me, it's a no-brainer, Rohan. I'll take you back to 1996, where Sri Lanka was a joint host with India and Pakistan. West Indies and Australia refused to travel to Sri Lanka, citing security concerns. And because of that, Sri Lanka picked up 4 points even without playing a ball. So I'm sure if Pakistan refuses to travel to Ahmedabad, ICC will have a precedence to look at and give 2 points to India. I don't think there will be any rejig of the venue. I don't think there should be any because if the ICC has made its decision, its own security personnel would have done all the consideration. They would have traveled around. They would have looked at what Ahmedabad has to offer and look at what the likely scenarios are. So ICC has made a considered decision. It is not an India decision. It is an ICC decision. And if Pakistan or its government says they're not going to play in Ahmedabad, then you can be sure that India will pick up 2 points straight away. I don't think ICC will rejig the game, relocate it to any venue of Pakistan choice. I think they will give 2 points to. This is the eventual outcome. There has been a precedent, as I pointed out, and Sri Lanka went on to play the final in 1996 and win it too in Lahore, right? So India can pick up 2 points if Pakistan refuses to. I think ICC will not relent now. They have made their decision and they will stick by it. And I think the officials in ICC are responsible enough to understand the politics between the two countries, to understand the sensitivity of scheduling a match in Ahmedabad or anywhere else in India for that matter, right? So there is a good example of that already within the schedule. ICC has said that if India get to the semi-final, it will be playing in Mumbai. But if it's an India-Pakistan semi-final, it will be held at Eden Gardens.
Yeah.
So they have already factored in location concerns. So it is clear to me that ICC thinks that Pakistan playing in Mumbai will be a security problem. And therefore, if it's an India-Pakistan semi-final, it will be played at Eden Gardens in Kolkata. So ICC is a responsible organization, and I think it has done the best it can. I don't think any board can hold it to ransom and say that we're not going to play, so please rejig the schedule at this point of time. To me, that is not going to happen. A lot of critics, a lot of commentators have said differently. I believe that 2 points are waiting to be taken for India if Pakistan refuses to play that game in Ahmedabad.
Exactly. But we hope Pakistan plays and we have a game because that's the pinnacle. I think whatever the game is, but the all eyeballs are on that match, India versus Pakistan. And
We
even if
should hope that
yeah,
the game is played because
yeah,
it will be a fascinating contest. In the World Cup scenario, with India having won all 7 matches against Pakistan dating back to 1992, it will be a great opportunity for Pakistan to try and set that right. It has got the team, it has got the players who can battle India and try and win a match for India. So it is not as if it's a passenger or a pushover and we lose this game. It will be a great match with 100,000 people packing the Narendra Modi Stadium. It will be terrific atmosphere. I think Pakistan will be well advised to go on to play rather than concede 2 points without playing in it.
exactly. And yesterday Devashish was making this point of a packed crowd at the Ahmedabad Stadium. He was there for the IPL final, and it was electrifying. But Raja sir, before we move on to another topic, last final one on this IPL on this World Cup schedules, due factor that our tournament is will be played in October and November. Some parts will have winters coming in. So, do you think that in grounds like Dharamsala and Kolkata also, because at that phase Kolkata also has started to get the dues, early morning dues. So that will be another factor for the matches, how the teams will go into these matches.
See, this is the time India has got its season. The cricket season for India
Mhm.
typically
Exactly.
used to stretch from October to March. So you have to play whenever a window is available within that. So an October to December window that the ICC has chosen along with the BCCI is the best under the circumstances. What the ICC can consider is ensuring that some of these are day games. There will be crowds. There will be fans packing the stadium, no matter whether it's a day game or a day-night game. I think that ICC can take this into consideration because every game will have its own set of fans. Every team will have fans following it. Some teams may not draw full houses, but I think that if ICC can consider not having day-night games but having day games, it will take the due factor out of the situation. But it is early winter, Rohan. I don't think it will be that huge a factor. Typically, it is end of December, January, where dew comes into play, where fog comes into play in the north. So I think that early season for India, I think it's not going to be such a big factor. But if it does promise to be that, I think ICC can think of not having day-night games and some of these games.
Okay, thank you, sir. And before and then let's shift a bit to Asian Games, the coming up Asian Games. But on the cricket, as we are discussing cricket, so cricket being drafted into the Asian Games, men's team, the second team will be going, and women's the main team, the senior team will be going. But what are your thoughts on that? Because we are having talks of having cricket in the LA 28 also. So how important is this decision of sending the team to Asian Game contingent?
I think from two aspects, it's a very important thing that India sent the best available team, for the best possible team to the Asian Games, both the men and women. If a decision has been made already to split the Indian team because it will be playing a home series at that point of time, to send the second spring side to the Asian Games. I think that some of the senior players should be going to the Asian Games. They should find a balance. With the women's team, I'm quite confident that they will rule the roost and win the gold medal. The men also have a chance of winning gold because they're among the best teams in Asia. They will face a challenge from Sri Lanka. They will face a challenge from Afghanistan and perhaps from Pakistan as well. Bangladesh can't be discounted. It will be a great tournament. The other aspect is that cricket going to China. Some years ago, the ICC was very keen on making China a big base for cricket in the world. That did not seem to succeed. So the Asian Games might be a good experiment of letting the Chinese see what cricket is all about, and maybe ICC's aspirations of making China a big base of cricket in the world can succeed eventually.
Exactly, a fantastic point, sir. Because the Chinese market and the Indian market are the two big markets that everyone in the world wants to capture for the population. And yes, we have seen cricket growing in the non-cricketing nations in the recent times, and we have some good. Nepal is having a great cricketing base in the recent times, but they not made the Super Six, but yes, they made some good headlines in the recent cricketing world. But
Yes, Ron.
before
The ICC is now looking at the US as a big market. The American market is big because the subcontinental diaspora is really large there. The West Indian diaspora is really large there, and so they are hoping to make an impact in the US. But I think China can come back into the mix thanks to the Asian Games.
yeah, and in US also we'll have the Major League Cricket coming up. We have Sean Brown there covering for us, I'm really excited because it's a new market. We will see some new players and also the known faces also will be playing there. So it's a mix and match. And really hoping forward to looking at the MLC. But before we end, our final thoughts on yesterday's football game in this half, 1-1 draw versus Kuwait. Sunil Chetri again, once again in the scoring sheet. It has become a habit now. But the important point that you and I were discussing before the show, Igor's team match and his mentality. He has been doing well for the country as a coach. He has some good results. When he took up the job, India were around 170, 175. Now they're 98. But the mentality, a coach getting back-to-back red cards on two games. So, what are your thoughts and what messages does it send to the young kids in the team?
Two red cards. So I think it's time that the All India Football Federation sits down with Igor Stimac and has a word with him and tells him that his behavior is perhaps not acceptable. Because in India, um, I don't think you want to win games like this. I think uh, we believe in Guru. We believe in Guru setting a good example. And if a coach is going to get red carded every time he surfaces on the field, it's not a great message going out to the young fans or to coach aspirants. The pressure on Mahesh Gowli as an assistant coach, having to step up every time Igor Stimac gets that red card is enormous. I think the federation must really have a word with him, maybe deliver a warning to him because you can't afford to have coaches being sent off so frequently. Uh, in my own estimation, and I'm not such a, I don't have great stats on football, but I cannot remember any Indian coach being sent off twice in successive matches. It is a dubious distinction that Igor Stimac has achieved. I think we can do without a hat trick when he surfaces in the final. I hope that we don't have to face such a situation again. And quickly, the Football Federation chiefs must sit down with him and explain to him that this is not the culture that we want to perpetrate. Disappointingly, also, India conceded a lone goal. Otherwise, it would have been on top of the pool and beaten Kuwait. And I think it would have added some points to the Indians' rise in the FIFA World Ranking. Unfortunately, the own goal meant that India finished second after a draw and so lost out on some critical points there. Hopefully, India will pick itself up, will be able to um, rally from all the drama that happened at the end of the game or even during the game and play really well against Kuwait when it beats them in the final game.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. And yes, a very important point that you mentioned about the FIFA rankings. Yes, because at this point, the 98, 99, 100, these teams are up and down by 1 and 2 points each. So each and every win points matter to the rankings. But yes, the football team will be also be going to China for the Asian Games. I don't think the main team will be, the senior players will be going, but we have lots of, we have seen lots of young prospects, good prospects, Mahesh and Changte. They are all playing fantastically well. And Sunil Chetri has said about these young stars being the next big stars for the Indian football team. So, final thoughts before we end. Do you see a good result coming up in Asian Games also? Because if you see Asian Games football, I think it was back in 62, I think, where India got the medal. After that, I don't think. So.
No, we've not even qualified to play the Asian Games. Last time I was in Jakarta, there was a lot of drama in India, and the football team was not cleared because the government of India rule is very clear. You have to be in the top eight in a team event. You have to be ranked among the top eight countries in Asia to be able to go to the Asian Games. You have to be in the top six. You have to match the if it is a sport where timing and scoring is available, you have to match the sixth place score of the last Asian Games final. If you can do that, you can go and compete in the Asian Games. That is the government of India rule. But I gather that government is relaxing the rule a little bit this time. So you might see a large contingent, and hopefully football will be able to send both the men and women team. And because the women have always been ranked higher than the Indians in on the FIFA list, I truly hope that both sides go and are able to deliver a good performance. It's high time. I don't see us finishing in the middle bracket. I don't see us threatening to get to the quarterfinal, to the semi-final stage. But if we can come up with some good performances, Indian football will look up. We are a nation where many youngsters are watching football on television. They are fans of European football. Perhaps now they're shifting to Saudi Arabia as well to watch football in Saudi Arabia. They have watched football from Latin America. Uh, Hopefully, they will get to play a lot more and ensure that India rises in the ranks. We are a nation of football watchers. Hopefully, we will turn into a nation of wonderful football players soon.
Exactly, fantastically said, sir. And adding to what you said, I remember in 2015, Sunil Chhetri for a match before the match on his social media begged, folded his hands and asked the fans to come and to the come to the pitch and cheer or jeer whatever, but please come to the ground. And now, if you see, every ground is having 20 to 25,000. average 30,000 in Manipur when the Intercontinental Cup was played. Average it was 30,000. In Bangalore it was 20 25,000 every game. So yes, the fan following is increasing, and with every good performance from the national team, it will keep on rising. So we hope that India national football team does well in the Asian Games also, and the Asian Cup is coming up in January next year. Our two young correspondents, Rahul and Swapnil, will be going. So it will be fantastic. Thank you, sir, for joining. It was lovely talking to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me on your show, Rohan. One more time. Thank you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you, sir.